officers to change her name to Danica Patrick just to piss off Dale.
Just to
I'll even pay for the state coins for it.
hope you are doing well, ma'am. Dale, if you want to grab him, he needs macros and violations class. Oh, Dale, come on, that's just mean.
Dale, be quiet. Nobody knows I'm an FTO anymore. All right,
I
Mr.
gotta
Matt. Mr. Matt, go ahead and meet him everything. I said I'm going to do your macro and violation class. If you could please meet me on floor 2 meeting room. Bacon.
Yes, sir.
Will you send me the class itinerary on Discord?
Say that again.
Will you send me your class on Discord?
My class. What do you mean?
I have yet to observe this one yet.
Okay, so what you're gonna do? You throw the macros. He's gonna copy you and throw the same macro, and then you're gonna explain when you use that macro. Go over the violations after that. When you go to the ID warrant check, cover driver's license.
Copy. All right,
Cover the
Mr. Matt.
cover the name. He cannot see it until they give him that driver's license. So it's always sir or ma'am. To the the issue citation, cover how to issue a violation, how to classify them right, and then that should be good. And I'll cover the handcuffs.
All right, Bacon. I'll watch you this class.
So, Mr. Trey, every macro I throw, I'm going to need you to throw it. Go ahead and activate your body cam and let me know when your body cam is on, sir. So this is a macro you want to throw to initiate a traffic stop, and then you're going to turn your flashers on in that car to let him know you're coming after him. Any questions? All right, taser macro. Always before you tase somebody, it lasts 2 minutes. If you don't see it in chat, throw it again. If another suspect walks up, you have to throw it again for that new suspect. It does not apply for every person. Any questions? Same for this one. 2 minutes. If you don't see it in chat, throw it again. If another car pulls up, you do have to throw it again. Any questions? This one, okay, does not last 2 minutes, but you have to wait until you're shot at or that vehicle VDMs you till you can shoot that vehicle afterwards or shoot that suspect that is shooting at you. You always have to wait for them to commit that crime before you can shoot that car or shoot that person. Any questions? Before you ever start talking to somebody, you always want to throw this and read it to them so they know who you are and your badge number. Any questions? All right, go ahead and throw the macros. I need to see them, bud. Every time I throw a macro, you should be throwing it too. Female, male pat down. Always based off what character they are in the game. So if it's a girl character, you're going to throw the female pat down, whether it's a guy behind that girl or a girl behind that guy. Always based off what character they are. Any questions? Always throw it before you get them in the car. That way they are not sneaking any contraband or weapons into that car. Any questions? Where's your male pat down, bud? Perfect. All right, so this one, I always throw this when we get back to PDG, and I will list their charges in the chat. This way they know what they're being arrested for. If they ever do come back wanted on that ID check, warrant check, you will always put state charges after their charges you're giving them. So it'll be just like that in regular chat. So that way they can see it. If they have any questions, they will ask over the charges. If not, they are fine with it. Take them to jail. Yes, sir. That way they can see it so there's no questions over what they're being arrested for. Whenever you do an MP or a contraband, you will always throw that followed by your body cam is on, because whenever you leave this building, whether it's on break or in service, your body cam should always be rolling when you leave this building. Any questions? All right, I'm waiting on the macro, bud, because I want to see every macro. When I throw it, you throw it, please. A mission patrol contraband one. 1012. Yes, sir. So the ride along, again, followed by your body cam is on because you are leaving the building. And then you will always ride with a vested or above. So like a Bruce or above. Because you cannot ride with any badged officer or anyone below that rank of vested. Any questions? So like, you know how Bruce has got that vest on? You will always ride with the officer at least vested and above. No one below that rank. Because as an unbadged, you have to ride with a vested or above. When you get your badge, whenever you're doing a ride along, always. When you're doing a mission patrol, you'll always go by yourself. So this one just confirms your body cam is on, does not activate it, and lets other officers know you are actively recording. For whenever you clear that call, this means there is no more active shooting, no more VDMing on that call, so other officers will not respond to that call. Any questions? For whenever they do a radio check or they are telling you that suspect is clear or wanted, you will always toss that after that, so that way they know you saw it. Or also, if they tag you in chat, you will always 10 for it so you know you saw it and head to where that says you need to go. Any questions? So whenever you need to go upgrade your personal car or personal business, you will always go 10-6. You will always take a regular car, not a police car. Whenever you come back from that, you will always toss that in service or out of service if you're going offline. Any questions? So when you go off the game for a little while, you're going to toss that. It's like you're clocking out of work, if that makes sense. For whenever you come on the game or you're coming back from a break, you're always going to toss that in service like you're clocking into work. For after you got that car to pull over, always make sure their car is off and their hazard lights are on, so that way when you try to get out of your car, they do not take off. If that engine is still running, if you look at the exhaust, you'll see smoke coming out of that. If you still see smoke, tell them to kill that engine before you hop out of that car. That will always be followed by a location, so that way they know where you are. Any questions? Also, when you ride with a vested or above, ask them location names, because we do not have any street signs or addresses, so you will need to figure out locations for names of buildings, if that makes sense. So if you're on an MP and you get shots fired, get away from that scene. When you are clear, not getting shot at anymore, call that location in. If you're with a vested and above, go ahead and call that in and give them a location. But only on MPs or contraband will you avoid that scene and call it in after you get clear of it. Whenever you have somebody arrested and they're en route to PD, you always toss that macro. If you ever need a location when they do shots fired, backup needed, shootout in progress, or anytime they need a location where they went down, like officer down, you're always going to toss that. They should toss a location in floppy chat. If you ever mess up on a macro, you're always going to throw that one, so that way they will not ask any questions about what you said before. Whenever you get to that call, whether it's a fire, backup, progress, also always going to toss that number. If you ever have to detain somebody by putting them in cuffs until you can figure out what they did or what they didn't do or can be arrested, you will always toss that in chat so they know you have somebody detained. Alright, this one's going to be a little. See, hard never. The Alright, sorry about that. So this one's always to be done inside the car. You will always do it after you get their vehicle specs and driver's license. That way you can call them by that name. You will always do /Flobby, type out that full name in chat. Any questions? That one is for just when you're doing dispatch. If you are not on that call, you can respond to that with that name. But always let the highest ranking officer online do that because they are running dispatch at that time. Unless you're the only officer online to respond to that, that is the only way you'll do dispatch. Any questions? You'll throw those two for me. This is the way they'll respond to that ID check, warrant check. If they are wanted, you are hit at 10-4, copy that, and then you're going to request code 2 backup only, never code 3. That way you do not spoof that suspect because they will come with lights and sirens if you request code 3. And then that suspect's going to know something's up, so that's why you always want code 2. Any questions? Again, code 2 backup is you're still doing the speed limit, you're obeying traffic laws to get there because you are in no rush. Code 3 is for when there's shots fired or shootout in progress or officer went down. That is the only time you're allowed to speed. You will not obey traffic laws. Just try to not hit anything, keep your car on the road, and do the right thing if that makes sense. And that is that one. Okay, so this one. Anytime car spawns in completion. Alright, so anytime you request an inmate transportation, go to a green zone so you know you're safe. You cannot take any damage inside of a green zone. You will wait until that police car gets there. You will also give them a location that. Because you will never transport a suspect anything but a question. If there's ever a shooting, for whenever that traffic stop has failed and you're in pursuit, you're going to type in /Flobby, location where you started that traffic stop, and give a direction in which way you're headed. So if that traffic stop started in downtown and we're heading towards Compton, I'm going to relay that in Flobby chat so they know, so other officers can back you up. Whenever you're en route to a call, you're always going to toss that one and then the on scene when you get there. Whenever you die, you're going to throw that one and always in your body cam when you respawn in HP. After that, if you remember the name or what color clothes they're wearing or what kind of car they were in, toss that in lobby chat so other officers in that area can respond. After that, you are to forget about that name. If you see that suspect later on in the day till they commit another crime, you cannot go after them. Any questions? You also have a 15-minute cooldown from the area you died at, so you cannot go directly back there. You can go through that area to another area, but you cannot stop at that area you died at. Any questions? If they ever request a supervisor, if still if human on get to be all right, this one. So every time you issue a citation, somebody you're in chat, do the three dots, go to the badge, go to violations, find that person's name, and issue that violation. If it's administration, it's going to be a 3 something. If it's civil something, it's going to be a 2 point something. If it's criminal, it's a 1 something. Usually for a criminal, you're going to arrest them unless it was just a gun out. And if they have a driver or gun license, you can release them with that citation just for having their gun out. Any questions? Anytime they are wanted, when you get that suspect's wanted, you're always going to request backup. And when backup gets there, you're going to throw that macro. Moving to any questions. You never want to throw that before they do. Put the guns away, or they'll be with. And then if they do not comply within a time, you can. So you always want to toss. So you always want to toss that macro and give them that verbal warning. If they do not comply within a reasonable amount of time, you are allowed to arrest them for that. Any questions? So this is anytime we want them to leave that area, or if it's a green zone, we can issue that. You always want to give them that verbal warning too, to leave this area now or they will be arrested. That way, if they do not comply within a reasonable amount of time, you can arrest them. Any questions? All right, this one. You always want to read this one as you toss it to them, so that way they cannot say you did not read their rights to them. Because if you do not do this one, this is a big no-no, and they will be released. Any questions? You should have that one. That is a very big one. If you do not have that one, please add that one, sir. It's usually a little bit further up. I just mine is at the bottom, if that makes sense. Perfect. All right, so that covers when to use macros. Any questions over when to use macros? All right, now we're going to move on to violations part. Easiest way to find these is if you go to the badge beside your macros button, click the book at the top when it pops up. If not, go beside the store, click the book, go to rules and violations. Any questions? So 1.1, capture the state institution. Any green zone, which is PD, HP, military, hands, any entrance to a dealership is a green zone. Also, disposal is a green zone. So if we ever tell them to leave that area and they do not, we can try to get them for that capture of a state institution. Any questions? 1.2, taking power by force. So anytime they get you to do anything against your will, whether it be blackmail or bribing, to get anything of monetary value or power, you can issue that 1.2, taking power by force. Any questions? 1.3, taking hostages or kidnapping. Any state employee, which is medical, army, and PD, cannot be taking hostages or kidnapped. Only ones who can are civilians or gang members. Any questions? 1.4, fatal collision with the pedestrian. So anytime they use their car and run somebody over and kill them, that is a 1.4. Any questions? 1.5, attempted theft. So if they ever do slash try and say steals your hat or anything you have, that is attempted theft. Whether it's successful or failure, you can issue that violation for that. So just like that, I steal your hat so you could get me. 1.6, robbery of a police officer. So again, with that slash try, if they ever rob you of your gun, your keys, your car, or anything off of your police car, that is robbery of a police officer. Whether it's successful or failure, you can get them for that. Any questions? 1.7, uncoordinated entry onto a territory protected by state law. So again, this refers to any green zone. If they ever come in with their guns out or anything like that and we tell them to leave, we can also issue that 1.7. Any questions? No, I was responding to that fall chat. Sorry, I apologize. 1.8, collision with a pedestrian. So if they ever use their car and hit somebody and it does not kill them, whether it's a civilian gang member or a police officer on foot, that is a 1.8. Any questions? All right, 1.9. Even though it doesn't say this, admin says we can charge for this. So 1.9 says discharge of a weapon in a public place, also having a gun out means a 1.9. Any questions? 1.10, bribing a police officer, whether it's giving you money to let him out of cuffs or out of jail. That is bribing an officer. Any questions? 'Alright, these next two, 111, 112. Technically, they're auto charges. So anytime in a white zone or a green zone, anytime they commit this crime, it will be automatically applied by the game. If it is in a red zone, as long as you have body cam footage of this, you can apply that charge and arrest you for it. 111 is murder of a civilian or officer. So anytime they kill them in a white zone or a red zone, white zone, it would be automatically applied by the game. A red zone, you will have to apply this charge yourself. Any questions? It's an auto charge. So anytime in a white or a green zone, it will be automatically applied by the game itself. In a red zone, you will have to witness it with body cam and arrest them for it, and you'll apply that charge yourself then. Same for the 112. Any white zone or green zone, when they hit an officer, whether it's with a car or their fist, it will be automatically applied. If it's in a red zone, you will witness it with body cam and then apply that charge yourself. Any questions? All right, so those are all your criminal charges. They all start with a 1 and carry a 20-minute time in jail. Any questions? All right, all your civil charges start with a 2. They all carry a 10-minute time in jail. 2.1 is damage or harm to state property, which is more or less any PD, HP, any green zone. If they hit it with their car, shoot it with their gun, hit it with their fist, or spray paint it, is damage to state property. Any questions? So the exact opposite is a 2.2, damage or harm to private property, whether it be their vehicle or their personal apartment or home. Again, if they hit it with their fist, their car, shoot it, or spray paint it, that is damage to private property. Any questions? 2.3, false calls to emergency services or 911. The way this pops up in chat is a yellow 911. We are to respond to these. If we find that is a false call, we can issue that violation of a 2.3. Any questions? 2.4, debauchery, turning on music after being asked to turn it off, spitting on somebody. Anything sexual of nature is debauchery. Also, anything drugs or alcohol related is debauchery. Also, if they hold the mic on you and won't let you talk, that is debauchery. Any questions? All right, again, this is where that slash try comes in handy. You get 1 per traffic stop. So if you do find that suspect with alcohol or drugs, you can issue that charge of 2.4. But you only get 1 per traffic stop, whether it's a failure or a success. Any questions? Okay, 2.5, murder threat slash murder. So if they get that auto charge of 111 and you see them kill somebody, you can also issue that 2.5. If they ever threaten to kill you, you can issue that 2.5. Whether they say they're putting a bounty on your head or putting you KOS or they're going to kill you, that is a murder threat. Any questions? All right, 2.6, insulting a state employee, whether it be Army, medical, or a PD member. If they ever call you a bitch, cunt, uh, faggot, anything like that, if they ever say it about the whole police department or medical or army, it is not an insult. Only when they single you out, that is an insult. Any questions? You can stack that charge for as many times as they do it. Any questions? So that one, if they do it 7 times, you apply that charge 7 times. Any questions? All right, 2.7, extortion. So anytime they try to blackmail you or bribe you to do anything you don't want to do, that is extortion. Any questions? All right, so now we're moving on to administration. Sorry, what were we saying? Okay. Well, I heard that, but your hands were still moving and your mic was still up, so I thought you were still talking. I do apologize. So now we're going to move on to the administration charges. They all start with a 3 and carry a 5-minute time in jail. 3.1, resisting arrest. So as soon as you tell them they're going to be arrested and they start running or driving, that is resisting arrest. Any questions? 3.2, disobeying a police officer's order. So if you ever give them that order and they do not comply within a reasonable amount of time, you can issue that violation of a 3.2. 3.3, aiding in the resisting arrest. So if I was trying to arrest you and Bruce got in the way, I could charge Bruce with a 3.3, aiding in the resisting of arrest. Any questions? 3.4, violation of traffic laws, whether it be parking in the grass, driving the opposite lane, speeding, hitting poles, not maintaining linear lane. Running red lights. That is all violation of traffic laws. That would be a 3.4. Any questions? Any questions over that one, Trey? 3.5, whether it be with a car or their fist, if they ever hit a civilian or gang member, that is assaulting a civilian. Any questions? 3.6, failure to present requested documents such as ID, driver's license, vehicle specs, passport, gun license. Also, if they don't have one, you can issue that 3.6 as that is a failure to present it. Any questions? All right, go ahead and end that body cam, bud. Get that one uploaded and then post it in that FTO training log, please. Now all you got left is taser training, PD1, PD2, and then driver training. Do appreciate you, sir. If you want to get other classes done, just let me know when you come back online or find another FTO officer. Any questions? I do appreciate you, sir.